Star Trek: The Next Generation was a show. Everybody I interacted with. A show that I started watching when I was a really little kid. Can you believe it's been 30 years? Star Trek: The Next Generation first.
Star Trek: The Next Generation was my life.
I really grew up with this show.
My relationship to how I should conduct myself. It was the escape from reality. Welcome to Next Generation's First Generation, where Patrick Delmore and Sascha Shouties take a look back into their favorite childhood show, Star Trek: The Next Generation. This is where we attempt to reconcile how we felt as children watching the show and looking back as old farts now in our late 30s, almost 40s. Guests, social commentary, and good old-fashioned shade-throwing on our favorite and least favorite episodes. Here comes Patrick and Sascha. Oh, I almost forgot. This is a watch-along podcast, so make sure to queue up your favorite DVD or Netflix, and we'll give you the countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to basically watch along with the episode. Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Next Generation's First Generation. This is where Patrick Delmore and Sascha Shouties talk about our favorite childhood television show, Star Trek: The Next Generation. If you're keenly aware, we are releasing these episodes on the 30th anniversary of every episode. So today is January 30th, 2019. The episode that we're reviewing today is called Unnatural Selection, which came out, guess what, January 30th, 1989. This episode is a lot of fun. It's a Dr. Pulaski episode, but as you know, as Star Trek tends to do from time to time, it's got a few canon errors in it. Specifically the genetic modification of human beings.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to... We should give a shout out to this guy because he was cool enough to design our logo on the site and everything. If you want to watch some cool stuff about errors and mishaps that happen, David Clawwitter on YouTube has some amazing Star Trek videos.
Yeah.
What is the name of his channel?
You can find a couple of seasons of David's Truth or Myth videos that look at more or less, the truth or myth, and also Star Trek analysis. Not just held to Next Generation, but also the original series and the movies as well. He just kind of explores the Trek verse and things that find his fancy. You can find his videos in two locations. On YouTube, if you search under Triangulum Audio Studios, or also on his Facebook page, David Clawwitter Designs. It kind of sounds like this.
Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Truth or Myth.
There it is.
I'm still blown away by all the love and support for my channel.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say an extra thank you to all of you before starting today's episode.
Well, you're very welcome. So there it is. Lots of excellent stuff. I find myself kind of going down the rabbit hole with David, so go ahead and check him out when you can. But David Clawwitter, he's a friend of the show. He designed our logo art, so the purple Captain Picard and Enterprise logo on our Facebook page. Anyway, the idea here is queue up your DVD or Netflix. We're going to give you a countdown here, and just let me know when you're ready. All right. I'm waiting. Are you ready, listener? I think the listener's ready. Okay, so we're going to count down to 5, 4, 3, 2, and engage.
And Jen is here with us, too. We forgot to mention.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Yay!
She was a little bit dubious about this being a Pulaski episode, so hopefully it'll win her over. Now, I remember seeing this, and I'll tell you which part I remember from when I was, a little 7-year-old Patrick.
Oh. Hey, there's Dexter Clay again.
I just had my birthday.
Was it Dexter? Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah,
You're a January baby?
I was January baby.
Aww.
Hey, and there's a counselor toy.
Yeah. We actually reviewed these out of order. We just got done watching the upcoming episode, A Matter of Honor, and we were missing Troy. She wasn't in that one.
Oh, very interesting. So it's a Pulaski review.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll perfect how the ship's reviews work later on. Right now, it's, talk about informal.
Yeah.
Well, but Troy has always been part of the employee eval process on this show. If you look at the episode Lower Decks.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. That's coming up to tighten everything.
Oh, she still has a funky accent. I never noticed that she had that funky accent.
She never gets
still.
rid of it.
Oh.
We're getting a phone call.
He's like, yep, there it is. Distress.
Respond on the same frequency. Remember when you used to have those handheld phones and you used to accidentally every once in a while come upon somebody else's conversation?
God, that was weird. Well, think about like our parents' generation when they could get like a party line for like the neighborhood. So you could pick up the phone wanting to make a call and just sit and listen to somebody else talking.
Huh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Undescript message. Concerned Riker squint. A glance.
That's interesting. Picard had a 911 answer. What is the nature of your emergency?
Yeah, very true.
How does he already know it's an emergency?
Oh, you missed it. It was very faint in the background. The person just goes, "Get hold on."
Well, and it was a distress signal, so any distress signal is dead.
Maybe they were in the bathroom.
Yeah.
They were trying to hold on to something in the bathroom. Maybe they missed the grip bar. Well, okay, this is episode season, directed by episode 7, season 2. Oh my gosh, shoot me now. Directed by Paul Lynch, written by John Mason and Mike Gray. Featured music by I Love Him So Much, Ron Jones.
Ron.
Woo! Roddy boy! That means I'm going to instantly like this episode.
I have yet to figure out which episodes I like as far as directors and who came up with
everybody directs in such a similar style, it's really hard to tell.
Huh. Yeah, it's kind of like if you look at acting, everyone acts in a certain way. Mm-hmm. So, one thing that's kind of cool, not only is this a Dr. Pulaski episode, it is the episode where Cole Meany's finally named.
Yes.
As Mr. O'Brien. Miles O'Brien.
Miles Edward O'Brien.
Ooh, Edward.
I don't know that they had the Edward at the time, but...
So, does that mean his initials are M-E-B? Meeb?
M-E-O.
Miles Edward O'Brien, so M-E-O. Mo.
Yeah.
Mo.
Mio.
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 Mio. Okay, so here we go. We are racing into the unknown to some kind of crazy distress call. Distress call. The Lantry. This is a cool ship. This is an older era ship that they're going to come up to. Something left over from maybe like Kirk's day.
Oh, Colm Meany. I always thought it was Cole, C-O-L-E, not Colm with an M at the end, because it just blends into each other.
Now, speaking of accents, he really tweaked how his Irish accent sounded for this show.
Is he actually Irish?
He is actually Irish.
Scottish, okay.
But he wanted to not be like Scotty, where he had, the fake Scottish accent going on.
Wait, his accent was fake?
Yes.
Oh, what was he really?
Or no. I'm wrong about that. That's right. He was British at least.
Oh.
Who?
James Doohan.
Oh yeah. He's lived in Bellevue for a while.
I believe that.
Yeah, no, but he just thought, if he was going to be representative of the Irish on a starship, that he needed to have it, be like an accent that you would actually hear on a street in Ireland and not. Well, Captain Picard.
Yeah. Not leprechaun-y. Yeah. Interesting.
Hey, they're not doing a nose-to-nose meet and greet.
Nope.
They're going to be flying parallel. This is Captain Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Is there something meaningful about that? Doing like side-to-side communications versus nose-to-nose?
It's just nose-to-nose is just unrealistic. It's good for TV. Everyone's dead.
Everybody done died.
That's a cool ship. That
That is a
right
neat
there.
ship.
That right there is the same design that we saw in Wrath of Khan. What's the name of that ship? The Intrepid? No. Can't remember.
Now that was something very interesting about Troy that I've not noticed before, where Picard actually employed her opinion about a ship, and I'm sure that that's happened before. I just haven't paid attention to it until now. Or he's like, okay, what do you all think about this ship? What do you think? Are you getting any feelings from this ship?
Well, they want to find out what happened over there without having to get anybody in danger.
Right. I was just mentioning that I've never seen him actually ask Troy her opinion on an oncoming ship.
Well, he wanted to see if anyone was alive.
So Picard is now interfacing with the cameras on the ship in his office.
Why did he have to go into his office to do that?
So they wouldn't hear his access code.
Oh, okay.
You doofus.
30-dur.
Standing by, Commander. The Landry computer reports access codes received and accepted, sir.
It's amazing that it takes that long this far in the future.
Huh.
Landry is responding, sir. We have override.
Well, originally, all communications were supposed to be in the form of like a chip underneath your skin.
Yeah.
And you'd think that Picard would just kind of talk to the ship computer and tell him through his mind, okay, open up. Oh, they're all dead. Every single one of them.
It's like they're all standing like way back, and they're like, Troy, in case we're going to be looking at a bunch of corpses, why don't you go sit right up against the monitor?
Yeah, why?
And this is a 3D monitor, so a 3D dead person. Right in front
Hey,
of
it's
you.
that iguana man that was here last season. No, it's
Gosh, I
just the
feel like
same
that's so
makeup artist.
intrusive.
Iguana man!
So at what point does a
Lost.
ship's control go over to somebody else's control? Because it said that they gained bridge control.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Picard was doing in his office.
Oh, gaining the actual...
Yeah. He's the, they're the flagship of the Federation, which
I never knew that.
yeah.
So basically they hacked into the other ship.
Right, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
So as the viewer, the first question would be, why is there a ship full of old people and they all died of natural causes?
Yes, and that's what they're asking. That's why Riker said, looks like they had a battle with time, and then Worf did the whole lost.
Oh, there's the famous conference. That looks really short.
The conference table? It does.
Doesn't that usually the way they shoot it? The table looks massive. While they're listening to the logs.
I always wondered why they didn't have a bowl of chips on the table. They're just all tentatively reaching for them, and then Data's like, exactly how many chips am I allowed to have? And counts them into his hand.
Alright, so the plot's been established. The captain is talking about how everybody is just grown old and die right before their eyes. And that the captain started out very young.
Yep. Same age as Riker, who is, I want to say, 33 here. We looked it up on the child.
Yeah, the actor was 36
okay.
at the time of the child.
Wow.
I'm old.
Yeah.
Why?
The flu. Oh, they flued themselves. They flued the coop.
Ouch.
Wait, what was she talking about? That was the last disease.
Somebody on there had Teluthian flu or something, and they had gone to the Darwin Research Station.
Yuri Gagarin?
Yeah, that's who it was probably named after.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to call a research station Darwin. Just I assume I associate the name with like the Darwin Awards, where the dumbest person dies by the most extraordinary reasons possible. That's kind of like calling it red shirt station.
Yeah.
Now, did the person that played Dr. Crusher and the person that played Troy, were they friends in real life?
I have no idea.
Because they seem to have such good rapport.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean here, these two? Or
No,
Troy.
Dr. Crusher and Troy.
Dr. Crusher.
Not Pulaski.
Not Pulaski.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think the women kind of stuck together because they've made comments that it's kind of a not misogynistic set, but like it was just all guys.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know about then, but now Patrick Stewart is like the least misogynistic person in the universe.
He used to be.
That's really
the
a
most.
shame. That's really a shame. But I mean, good for him for trying to.
Well, he grew up.
Yeah.
Gagarin.
Between the Lamprey tragedy and the genetic research facility fills me with profound apprehension.
So this is interesting because they're about to go into this genetic research facility, and a big part of Star Trek's history is don't make genetic augments. Don't alter the human genome in any way. It's almost I don't know. How do you it's kind of draconian in a way. Which is opposite. For the Federation's all about explore, check out new stuff, and then oh no, don't do this. It's forbidden.
So this person that they're talking to seems a little aged right now.
Yes.
You're going to find out that she celebrated her 35th birthday the week before. Geriatric phenomena. Da 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 da. Phenomena.
Phenomena. My 35th birthday. Oh my
you're younger
goodness.
than me. I'm melting.
So watching this, I didn't really have a concept of age at the time, so I'm like,
Right.
35, that seems old.
Pretty much. I mean, that is how kids look at it.
Yeah, because, man, 89, I was 10 when this came out, so I'm just like, oh, whatever.
Doctor, if you're speaking of the Lamprey, we encountered 2 hours ago. All crew members were dead.
Everybody's dead.
Oh,
that's
this isn't
no-
the Lantry. Sorry.
No,
I thought-
this is the research station.
This is the Darwin Research
Oh.
Station.
I missed that.
I said all the 26 men and women aboard that ship were dead.
I heard you, Captain, and the prognosis is alarming. But my immediate concern is our children. Children? They represent years.
See, and they are a little bit bothered that this is going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but under the circumstances, until we know what's going on, I'm imposing a full quarantine on Darwin Station.
Does she have that authority?
Yes, she does.
Ship's doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
No symptoms. You cannot leave us here to die.
Well, this goes into one of the many arguments. There seems to be a command structure problem between the doctor's will and the captain's will.
Well, that's what they kind of get into in this.
Yeah, but you never see, like, Worf or the security guy overriding the captain.
Other than that,
If the doctor clears it should be a vacuum.
they'll push him out of the way if they feel like he's walking into danger.
Yeah, but they don't alter the nature of the mission.
No. But a doctor actually kind of has the authority to do that.
So here's our conference room scene. This is one of the few sci-fi shows where they have a liberal use of the conference room.
Yeah, this and Voyager, which are a commentator on Star Trek that I really like, SF Debris, refers to as the magic meeting room
Yeah.
in
It's
Voyager.
everything can be solved with a meeting.
Yep.
At least it's not an email.
Yeah.
You see,
Well,
can you see Captain Picard just like, look at this funny kitten,
Yeah.
reply
Yeah.
all.
Well, have you ever read Red Shirts by John Scalzi?
No.
So it's about a guy that gets pulled into a Star Trek-esque universe.
Oh, no.
And he's like in the red shirt position. So anytime there's a problem, the captain will go, this has happened. I need you to solve this problem. And they put it in the box until the captain comes back. And when the captain comes back, it's solved. And then one of them will make up an explanation for how they did it.
So they're gonna grab a child from the Darwin station.
Yes.
Don't they have to ask permission of the station before they
No.
just rip?
No. They told them.
This is what we're doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's a cool
weird.
effect.
So that's not.
Is there a problem?
It's the styrolite. I'm altering the delta T so the styrolite coating.
I want to say that barrier, the way that they have it, is not how they did it in the HD version.
Ah.
Or it doesn't look like that.
No, that looks more like the dimensional effect that they had in the Mannheim experiment episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have one 12-year-old male encased in number 6 styrolite.
Now, when they beam this kid over, he does not look 12.
That's the idea.
He looks like 18.
He looks even older than that, yeah.
But they gave him underpants, and I'm
Yeah.
thankful for that.
Yeah, I'm almost sure that weird field is not there in the HD.
Mm-hmm. Though I don't understand why they encased him in plastic. It's a little strange.
It is a little strange.
Well, that's them quarantining and making sure that he's sterile and that they won't catch whatever is going on with him.
You know, they had to tell this actor, don't breathe. All right, hold your breath.
Well, right there, do you think it's an actual person, or do you think it's just like
even
a
in
statue?
stasis? That's exciting.
Well, genetically altered adults. How do you feel about that?
Genetically altered adults?
Or just people?
Hmm.
So, I mean, this is something we've never really talked about, but if you had the ability to edit out any arthritis or cancers or diseases.
See, I don't know how comfortable I am discussing that, because that sort of goes into, you know, your ethics and your religion and all of that stuff, and I'm not sure if I'm comfortable discussing that.
Okay.
I have a feeling that come, you know, when the rich people go to their apocalypse mansions to survive global warming, that genetically engineered babies are the only babies you're going to have after that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking about, you know, there's some people out there that they find that their child that they're carrying is predisposed to having, say, Down syndrome, and it's like, well, how much of a hindrance is it to have a kid with Down syndrome, and how you don't know for sure, it's just a possibility of, and aborting that kid without knowing for sure what's going to happen and how successful they're going to be, like, who are you to decide whether the fate of that kid? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's a really good point. You're changing destiny.
Yeah.
By going in and changing the nature of someone who they are on a genetic level, you are changing the outcome of their livelihood.
And that's the thing, is that do you want to change who this person is, and where do you draw the line between who a person is physically and who a person is mentally?
But they're still a person.
Right. But you could have changed that person.
I mean, what sucks is that it's like, you know, there are parents that are just simply not okay with a developmentally delayed person, and then there are parents that are okay with it.
Right.
So let's imagine that that still happens, and what they say is, okay, you have a kid that's like genetically disposed to having Down syndrome. So we can perform an abortion. We can you can carry that child to term, or C, we can modify the child's genetics and also fix you so that when you have another kid, they will not be predisposed to have.
Right.
But then
how far can you edit your kid? It's like, well, do you not want your kid to have ADHD?
Pretty far, and actually you can do most of that already.
Yeah.
So what if that kid who has been edited grows up? I'm like, well, I'm not the person who I was meant to be.
Right. And then you just throw them into this weird existential crisis.
That's what goes on with all the time with kids that are born with like both sets of genitalia, where the parents, when they're born, pick for them what gender they're going to be.
Or then you also have the controversy of designer babies, where you want to make your kid as competitive as possible.
Like, you want them strong, and you want them to have blonde hair and blue eyes, and
people are going to do that.
Yeah, and it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how far do you want to edit your kid before it's not the kid that you want it to be, or that they were meant to be originally? And some people just don't. There are people that really just genuinely don't care about that question. Right. Yeah. And there's some people that care very much about that.
So what... sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I actually started to write a story about that, about having the perfect kid.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You really dug that story.
Oh, you got to finish that story. Yeah, it was a great novel. Well, a good draft.
Thanks.
So the reason why I'm asking this question so much is we're about to discover that the children are actually the cause of this aging disease.
Interesting.
So this is a research station that's been established that they do work with genetics, and that they have children grown in a lab, and that the children can't survive when all the scientists are dead from this mystery disease that's aging everybody. And what the doctor's trying to do is she's trying to prove that the kids are...
Sorry, go ahead.
That the kids are harmless. So she's bending over backwards trying to prove that these kids are not sick, and that they can bring them to the ship. So they're having a power struggle of, I want to do this, but you're not helping me.
What she just said, and this little argument that Picard and Pulaski just had, actually made me start respecting Pulaski.
Good.
Because,
what'd she say?
So Picard said, you have an obligation to this ship. And she said, well, I also have an obligation to humanity. And I've not seen her really express that before, where she actually cares about the human beings rather than just being super logical, super cold. Like, this shows that she actually has emotions and compassion. And that's what I was waiting for from her.
Her compassion.
Because she always seems so cold to me.
We rarely see this shuttle bay.
I think it's really cool. Yeah,
we never see Shuttle Bay 1, the big one.
It's very Star Warsy to me.
I love it.
Oh, definitely the force field generator looks just like the one in Star Wars.
Huh.
The blue rectangle.
Yeah.
I love the moving scenery when the shuttle takes off and goes out. I don't know if they'll animate it here.
Yeah, and the
Now, do these two have a good relationship yet? Because I know
they're working on it. I mean, she literally she brought him there because he is expendable. Like, we just had a whole episode about how he's supposed to be not expendable. Yeah, this was all done in '89 with it leaving it actually looks pretty good.
Nice.
Well, no. She brought him because he's not biological. He can't get sick. That's why she brought him. And
because I just never liked the way that she treated Data.
No. Oh, great view.
Yep.
Oh, we never see that view. That's from the shuttle looking at the backside of the ship. It's a big ship.
Huh.
So they're going to beam a child on board, and they're going to remove the sterilite, that weird plasticky stuff, and do a medical exam to determine. The theory is that the child is safe. Of course, we already know that's not the case.
I like that conversation too. Is she was being a jerk again, in my opinion. You're just a machine. You'll be just fine. And he's like, well, I wasn't talking about just me when I was asking if we were going to be okay. I was asking about you. And Data, the irony there is that Data is the machine, supposed to have no emotions, but he's showing compassion towards her, where she's not showing any compassion towards him.
How ironic. Who's more android?
Exactly.
By the way, that was O'Brien's name being used there, I think, for the very first time.
It's funny that he's got to do a visual check to make sure that this guy that we now know is infected gets off the ship. They're not able to use sensors to see if it worked. He's got to just go into the room, stand there, and then walk back out.
Yep.
They're like, well, it looks like you could use a walk.
Well, there's a great meme, or not a meme, but a cartoon series called O'Brien at Work.
Oh, nice.
And it's just O'Brien sitting in the transporter bay, just basically being a cynical self of him, and judge and whatnot. Whoa,
Wait,
hey!
Did they just remove the plastic?
They removed the plastic. And he's mind talking to her with extra big eyes.
How could you, Doctor?
Oh,
He is not sending.
Data, you know what telepathy is. Come on.
He's telepathic.
Wait, how can she read minds?
Well, he can talk to her, but she can't talk to him.
She has to talk to him verbally.
A great ship. Shuttlecraft are cool.
I agree. I think Matt had a toy shuttlecraft. It was really neat. It had like wheels on the bottom. You could fit like 4 of the Playmates toys.
Oh, there you go. Honestly, out of all the shuttlecraft, though, I think I would want the runabout.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, I know people say it's ugly and it's like the RV of the shuttlecrafts, but I mean, it's better than what I got now.
Yeah.
Which is nothing.
manufacturably placed here.
Oh my goodness. Jeez. She is so degrading.
She really is.
Oh, acting! My career.
That scared me so bad. So here I am.
That
I'm
somebody
7
got
and
hurt?
no, that you couldn't see what happened, and she just grabbed her arm
Yeah.
and yelled. Because I remember here I am like at 7, and this is like one of the most dull episodes of any Star Trek I've ever seen. It's people talking, a man in his underwear, and then she just
There was no warning.
And then she just winces in pain.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the initial symptom of the disease.
Yeah. Arthritis. She looks old enough for arthritis right now. How old is she in this?
The actress,
Yeah.
I think in her early 50s.
Yeah, that sounds about
She's
right.
still alive.
I think they had to name him only because there's so much transporter action in this episode.
Shuttle 1, hold your position.
That haircut is terrible.
I am waiting for that Funko Pop of O'Brien from this show to come out.
Oh, I'm surprised
Is
there
it?
isn't one.
No?
That hasn't come out yet.
Oh,
They have some Star Trek The Next Generation ones, but they don't have an O'Brien.
I want to get my hands on one of those. Oh, there goes the kid. He's sad.
Yeah,
Did they just beam him into space?
Hold the GQ pose.
I know. He's like, I'm going to be in the Sears Christmas Wish Book.
With a nice little Santa cap on my head.
To the Darwin Farms.
Okay, does arthritis really hurt that much and that suddenly?
Not that suddenly, I don't think, but it hurts that much.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, look at that.
Pain is tolerable. Thank
She stopped being mean for just half a second. So now that she is infected, she has to go back down to the planet. They've established the children are the cause of the mystery.
Carriers, yeah.
But they don't know what it is yet. They just know it has something to do with the kids.
I don't even know how Dr. Pulaski...
And now O'Brien is in the meeting room with them.
Look at that. Yeah. Well, he's a subject matter expert.
Hmm.
Shouldn't Dr. Pulaski be involved in this?
What was in the Landry? Dr.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they can't remote her into the room.
I suggest we bring them both back onto the ship.
What should they have done?
Is most likely immune.
What?
And surely the biofilter will
The transporter's biofilter.
That's why they brought him in.
Oh, yeah.
Is to explain why that technobabble isn't going
Jordy
to work.
Jordy doesn't understand how it works.
Bring out whatever it is that's causing the disease.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, what's causing the disease? We can't protect ourselves against the unknown.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Depends on known biological factors.
Yeah.
We might try the trace.
What's a trace?
Well, as you know, the
This is
transporter
new.
keeps a record of all transmissions, eh?
Oh, but you know what? This isn't going to work,
Yeah.
guys, because Pulaski doesn't like to go by transporter.
Yeah.
Wonder. Oh, I didn't know
She's a transporter vegetarian. She's like, oh, I don't use those.
I wonder why.
Well,
It's kind of messed up. I mean, if you want to talk about, like, moral stuff, what it does is it makes a copy of you. It basically erases your atoms, makes a copy of you from that second that
And
it
then
did that.
rearranges them.
And there's actually a really good classic Trek comic. Well, it's from the classic Trek era by John Byrne about a species of people that are like 10,000 years old and don't age because they just repeat their transporter patterns.
Oh.
but the big question is, are you killed when you're beamed and then you
Regenerated.
the new person who appears on the pad is a new copy of you?
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
That
It's really
continues living in your shoes with
Yes.
your memories.
I don't like that at all. I'd
I know, I
probably be
wouldn't
a
want it.
transporter vegetarian too.
Yeah.
I mean, you would die 10,000 deaths.
Oh.
In each copy of you, you want to talk about choosing your own fate and destiny. What if your copy would make a different choice
Right.
than you?
Now that's a really interesting storyline for Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. Maybe when you die, you get put into the alternate universe.
And now Pulaski's going into the old age makeup. She's got her hair. a
Yeah.
little
Oh, yeah, look at
floppy
that.
and-
She's looking a little more
She's a
wrinkly.
little bit wrinkly, yeah.
I think they just hired an older actress there. Rather,
Yeah.
She does not look like
No,
an
she's
age.
not a 35-year-old in makeup.
Yeah, they should have been.
35-year-old that wears grandma slacks.
Yeah, why isn't she wearing like a shirt from American Eagle right now?
Yeah.
They're the kids in the lab doing.
Wait, don't tell them they
mental
look
powers.
stupid in jumpers. This may be the
All
first
right.
time we've
The
seen
oldest
3
is 10, and they're all telekinetic.
I wanna know why there's a lack of diversity with all those genetically engineered
Right?
super perfect kids.
Their body structure, their musculature, their minds. You were telling me about their immune system.
So they're bragging.
That was our masterpiece.
They're bragging how perfect these kids are
Massive immunity.
with a
The rest of us
super white cells, I guess you could say. Oh my god.
Terrible.
Oh.
Yeah, we took him from that pleasure planet that Wesley screwed up.
Yeah.
the Pelosi-
Release my children.
So now we're going to find out why this is going on.
Their immune system would release an active antibody that would attack the virus. Even at a distance, their immune systems don't wait for a disease to attack the body. It would seek out an airborne virus and destroy it. Destroy it.
She's a little
How exactly?
whatchamacallit, arrogant for a
Yeah.
35-year-old.
To alter the genetic code of the virus.
She's shaking her head a little
Yeah.
bit too.
Yeah.
I want to know
Of course I'm right. Shut up.
between-
The only reason I'm talking is to keep you from doing so.
Oh, we don't have time for that. And genetic analysis could take months.
Genetic schmedic. We're only a genetic research station. It's not like we can speed anything up.
Why would you erase an electronic file? Oh man.
Taggart.
Oh, we never see him again.
So this is Pulaski's old captain?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they're trying to get a copy. So they got this working theory that they can use a transporter to fix this issue, but they need a copy of her previous transporter records. But she takes the shuttle everywhere.
Extraordinary.
That looks like a control panel from an old Airplane 2 movie.
Yeah.
I pulled it from the set. Will Shatner was in that, actually.
Yeah.
He was the commander of Moonbase.
Yeah, I saw Airplane 2 before I ever saw Airplane.
Once it was triggered, it kept going. The antibody
Funniest movie where they shoot a dog ever.
What?
Remember they were going up there, it's like, sorry, Timmy, your dog can't go to the moon, and they just shoot it.
Oh!
I mean, that it's fake.
But still.
The kid, like, freaks out, like, ha ha, rubber bullets.
Oh, jeez.
process is irreversible.
So, we've kind of moved the plot along. Now they're just trying to realize, are we going to have to meet our deaths or be saved?
What's gonna happen? What do they do?
But what about the children? So these kids are going to live an entire lifetime in quarantine.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Don't carry the disease.
They are the cause. The kids
that-
are the disease.
And this I remember watching, too, with her getting old. And I
That would
really...
be scary as a kid.
It was scary, and they basically had said that she was going to die. Like, I really didn't think they were going to fix it. I wasn't at an age where you thought that, you realized that TV shows are formulaic. And that there were enough, like, 80s cartoons on where they would kill a character. Especially, like, a doctor like this, so it would get really old and crumble to dust.
Honestly, I thought they were looking for a way to bring Beverly back.
I didn't remember Beverly.
No.
Yeah, I was just getting into the show.
No, I was really hoping that they would bring Dr. Crusher back. And I thought, oh, they're going to kill this lady off.
Oh, just for a second, there was some really cool Jones music playing.
Yeah.
Dr. Crusher does come back eventually, right?
Oh, yeah.
She does. They don't explain it.
Oh, okay.
She just is back from Starfleet Medical.
Okay, because I don't ever remember Pulaski, so as a kid,
It was always Crusher.
ooh, giving your own epitaph.
Changes in evolution are known to be caused by changes in the environment. We now know the process also works in reverse.
She's glitching out.
Yeah.
Evolution has resulted in a new species.
Oh, a new species, she's calling it. So that's another thing, too. Once you edit your baby, genetically edit your baby,
Yeah,
is
are
it
they
still a person?
human?
Yeah. I would argue that it's kind of like different breeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't... That would be terrifying if you were able to make it. I mean, if if our government could, they would, but designate certain creatures as inhuman.
Right.
They aged the old lady.
Yeah.
Whoa. It looks like the Grand Nagus
Well, and
is...
it also looks like Pulaski's wearing a completely different shade of medical uniform that makes her makeup look better.
Oh, there you go.
We're going to cut back to where she's wearing more of a royal blue than a sky blue.
Huh.
Ready to beam aboard.
See you, Data. Data's seen some shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because he's kind of can go where people can't.
Yeah.
He does.
Goes where no one goes, to coin a phrase.
Yeah.
Commander Data is ready to come aboard.
Oh, they're writing it like they're just gonna fly away. But they haven't come up with a solution, have they?
Get him up here. Data. What's going on, buddy? How did the doctor see you?
Where's O'Brien?
I don't know.
And why is this taking so
And
long?
who is
This
that
guy's
guy?
this guy's fired.
He was over there before. Oh, they're using 2 consoles.
You may step down, sir. Data, tell me. It's good to see you again.
Yay!
If the changes in Dr. Pulaski's DNA...
Look at that, Picard being nice.
Reversible, sir. The subtle molecular transposition of... But say if
Yes.
Okay.
Well, now we're gonna get into techno babble.
You said that the transporter could be modified to filter out the changes in Dr. Pulaski. Yes, sir, but we were unable to locate her trace pattern. Well, what if we used a sample of her DNA? Say, from a blood test taken before she was exposed to the disease. Could that be used to filter out...
Okay, so he's looking for an old copy of her.
Molecular matrix reader. That's no problem. But the waveform modulator will be overloaded without the regeneration limit
Ugh.
of the first stage, sir.
What?
All the
What?
sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How long did it take him to come up with that bliff?
Yeah.
Science.
It's like a Voyager.
You heard me say, let's get those panels off.
Oh, wait. Oh, these
How
panels.
does this work?
I thought he was going to drop trout for a
Yeah, the
sec.
director was like, "Yeah, just put your hand on it. And we'll cut away. You're not going to tear the set apart."
This is ridiculous. A cell, a single cell.
Where do we find a cell?
Checker quarters.
So now these guys have to go through underwear.
Yep.
Ew.
Pretty much.
Or find a hair follicle.
Ding! You got it.
Going through underwear.
Seriously.
Hairbrush.
There you go. They have hairbrushes in the future, apparently. I've never seen her wear any of those clothes.
I don't keep my hairbrush in the same place that I keep my clothes.
It has a follicle, sir. Live cells.
But the follicle would be in your thumbs. Jeez.
Howard Section, this is the
Maybe they would be in your thumb.
Well, the follicle. So when you pull out a hair,
Uh,
the follicle's the little meaty bit at the
Well,
end of
yeah.
the hair. But he was holding it with by both ends.
Doctor, we may have a solution. We have a sample of your normal DNA to use as a filter in a trial.
You perv, how did you get that?
Yeah.
We can beam you aboard.
Well, I happen to have a collection of all my senior
Oh,
albums
Lord. You can see that, yeah.
in a little box under the desk. You didn't know it, but that first day in 10 forward.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I think you should know this has never been attempted before.
He looks really concerned. But God, yeah, I thought she was just gonna turn into a skeleton. I mean, she's got the bad wig on. That's probably an Andorian wig.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm a little confused on where this unannounced compassion is coming from Picard. He seems overly concerned about
Well,
this.
that's what him and Troy's thing was about. His relationship with Pulaski.
So is he doing this just to make the relationship better?
No, he's trying to save his doctor, but he also cares about her as a person. I mean, that's kind of the message of the show. It's not just about duty; it's also that you care.
But it's very rare when Picard is compassionate. Usually it's all business with him.
But you'll be able to tell if it's worked by watching the stack.
Oh, that's right. I forgot her old CO told him that she really wanted to be on the Enterprise and was so excited to serve that. Yeah, we just talked over that.
Okay, and so he always thought that she didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, so the reason why he likes her is because she likes him.
Right.
Kinda.
Oh. Well, now that you show an interest in me, I'm definitely going to be nice to you.
So yeah, if the transporter didn't work the way that it did, you would assume that would kill you to, like, de-age so fast in a couple of seconds.
This reminds me of that Barkley episode in season 6. Was it 6 or 7? Where he pulls people out of the matter stream.
Oh, yeah.
And they're personified as monsters that bite you.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was super creepy.
See, now why did they have to dial it in back to that age? It's like, come on, you could have pulled it back another 10, 20 years. I wouldn't mind being 30 again.
Yeah, but they didn't have hair follicles for her being that age.
Yeah, right. So that means save your hair follicles every 3 years, folks. Because you never know when they can dial you back. And we just killed you and brought you back to life as a coffee.
That's the end of that chapter.
If this hadn't worked, it would have been necessary to beam your energy into empty space.
And spread my atoms across the galaxy.
Exactly
Pretty
what
much.
you're afraid of.
You know, worse things have happened to better people, Doctor. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I could have said that better.
Now, here's what's really disturbing. I don't think they resolved the plot.
No.
Oh, here we go. It's a wrap-up.
The adults at Darwin Station have been
normal health using our transport. Sloppy writing. They could have done a whole act of bringing people back to life. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, the end of this is bizarre.
This really freaked me out. Hearing the warning hail from the ship and then blowing it up.
But all achievement has a price. For one brief glimpse of the mysterious blueprint of human evolution, the men and women of the USS Lantry paid with their lives.
That's a nice epitaph.
Yeah.
So basically she's saying, you know, they kind of went a little too far and they paid for it.
But do you agree with what she said about all even scientific mistakes are considered advancements?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's the point of science. You know, is to make mistakes and then learn from them.
Failure is a measurable data point. You can say, we've tried that and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Kaboom!
There goes that ship. They should have done that nose to nose.
Yeah. Or just got on top of it and dropped it like a poop.
Wait, where did that was Darwin Station.
So they're all standing. Who fired?
Worf did.
Now, wouldn't it make more sense just to beam all the bodies off the ship and decontaminate it and then not lose they throw away ships on the show left and right.
Yeah.
I would have taken that ship.
It was an old show. Yeah.
I got a bottle of bleach.
Look what happened. Look what happened to the Stargazer. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, there it was. Your Big Pulaski sympathetic episode, and it worked fair enough for me. I was, I would have, if I'd never seen it again, I would have still kept images from it for 30 years. So I will give it a 3. I actually do like the next episode. We're going to watch Code of Honor a little bit better.
Yeah. 3 what? What's your metric?
3 white wigs.
3 white wigs? Ooh. Andorian white wigs.
Yeah, Andorian white wigs.
I would have to give this also 3 Andorian white wigs, mostly because Pulaski grows in this. She apologizes to Data. Though she doesn't apologize enough, she does apologize to him. And she remains that professional. She doesn't pull the I'm better than you, let's do this like Beverly would. So it was alright. How about you, Jen?
I didn't know that Beverly pulls that I'm better than you, let's just do this.
She does.
Because I feel like she kind of did that with Data. It's like, I'm better than you. You're just an android and whatever. I actually liked it okay, and I would probably give it higher than a 3, maybe a 3.5 to 3.75 Pulaski hair follicles, because there was a lot of there were a lot of conversation points that that I hadn't, like, I'm not usually that engaged with an episode, but there were a lot of things that got brought up that I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting, and that's interesting too. So, and it had a lot to do with humanity and not so much the sci-fi aspect of it.
Well, we really got into a long conversation just about genetic engineering and its implications. Mm-hmm. So I think science fiction did its job where it took a contemporary issue and blew it up for us to science fiction expanded the issue for us to explore the controvery.
And I like that there was character development both with Pulaski and with Picard even. Is that I saw really interesting relationships develop, and I liked how I got to see a little bit more of like Troy's, not involvement, but just at least her importance on the ship as far as what her role is when there is an oncoming ship or whatever, because I just thought that she did mostly internal things, but she was doing external things that time around. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was pretty cool. Just a lot of character development, and those are the episodes I tend to appreciate more, rather than the ones that are just very technical.
Yeah, the touchy-feely, well, not touchy-feely, but it's the character acting beyond their locked type.
Yes, beyond their role, beyond their job, acting as a human rather than a worker bee.
Oh, there you go. I would agree with that. Well, thank you very much for exploring this episode with us. You can find us at nextgenfirstgenpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you have anything to say about old people getting older and the animal there, or...
All right, and then if you could also make sure to check out our friends over at the Two True Freaks Network. They also have some very fascinating podcasts there. And also I encourage you to listen to some of our Shore Leave series movie reviews. With that being said, have a wonderful day.
Why am I interviewing you guys?
So you're the guest.
So Sascha, what's Star Trek?
Hi,
Next Generation?
I'm the guest.
So Sascha, what is Star Trek?
Seek us out at Next Generation's First Generation at iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. Music credits include Electric Car by Poddington Bear. Music heard in this podcast can be found at freemusicarchive.org. Audio engineering by Sascha Schaudies. Chief Meme Maker and episode cover credit goes to Matthew Kirschner. Logo and graphic art design credit goes to David Clawwitter. And special thanks to Patrick Delmore for working with other podcasts to make sure the good word gets out.
Do you have a podcast that you think people should be listening to? Send us your promos and we'll play them on the show. If you'd like to email the show, you can email us at nextgenfirstgenpod@gmail.com. I've been Patrick Delmore.
And this is Sascha Schaudies. Thank you very much for listening and have a wonderful day.
Good night.